Middlemarch is a book that I have read and reread all my life. And so I sort of know it like the back of my own hand. And I could see immediately what scenes were going to work. The most dramatic scene, of course, being the death of Casaubon. My God. I mean, that's just so dramatic. There are even illustrations from the 19th century of the particular scene where Dorothea finds her dead husband. And there's a fantastically funny scene in the opera where the character of Mr. Brooke, who is running for Parliament and makes a fool of himself on the hustings, is jeered and booed, not as in the novel by members of the crowd, but in our production by members of the orchestra, who jeer him by making rude noises on their instruments and throwing fruit and things at him, and that really brings down the house. I expect it will bring down the house in Charlottesville as well. They just jump out at you, scenes that you can use and that will really work and hang together and form this dramatic arc, which I think we get with the opera, that we follow this young woman from her somewhat naive idealism and plans for herself and her life, and then the way that she is disappointed and shot down and disillusioned and makes terrible mistakes, and then retains her pluck and her courage and her goodness in spite of it all, and is rewarded. I mean, in this wonderful love story at the end. So, you know, it was just so obvious to me what to do and how to do it. Characters are really everything in opera. That's something that I've learned over, decades writing dramatic works, whether for myself or now for opera, is that if you have characters and the performers can really relate to them and bring them to life, this is what opera is all about. And we're just so lucky in the performers that we had in San Francisco, and 4 of them will be in the Charlottesville production too, who just really brought those characters to life in such an extraordinary way, whether humorously, like the character of Celia, performed by Tonya D'Amelio, or Mr. Brooke, who is performed by Mike Mendelsohn, who really is quite over the top in places. It's wonderfully comic. Or the great Casaubon character, created by Philip Skinner. And he's the bass baritone who has a very distinguished career, and some folks thought he wasn't right to play Casaubon, who is a kind of a small, mean-spirited man, and Phil Skinner is 6'5" or something. So physically, he's a very interesting Casaubon indeed, but he captured something very, very real and visceral about that character. And then add to that, of course, Sarah Duchovny, who was our fabulous Dorothea. And that's a huge role, I have to say. For a young singer, that was more challenging than she probably realized when she agreed to perform the role for the premiere. Dorothea is in not all, 5 of the 6 scenes, and that's a huge vocal challenge, and she was just so terrific and created such a sweet and compelling Dorothea. We just really all were cheering for her at the end, for the character as created by Sarah Duchovny. It's a story for now, and an opera with many values and interests and beauties, which I hope that the folks in Charlottesville will come out and attend and enjoy, and that we'll be able to interact with the people when we're there, with the audience and people connected with Charlottesville Opera. We're looking forward to that very much.